Hey, kia ora everyone, it's Chris and Sam here from Bayleys. So this is our monthly housing market update video. In this video we'll basically be talking about housing market. We've got a deep dive into the election and what that might mean for the market. Big note though is we're looking at NZ trends, so if you want to learn more about your local market, have a chat to your local Bayleys team. With that said, Sam, so market update, what do we see in the stats over the past month?
Yeah, so for December, there were 6,600 sales across New Zealand, higher than normal, which is good. And looking at the price trend for New Zealand, it's pretty much still moving sideways, but some of the regional data is pointing to the South Island outperforming the North Island.
Yep.
And then in terms of drivers for the market, two key ones. So on the supply of homes for sale, this is out of realestate.co.nz. 30,400 homes sold at the end of December, which is still running at high levels. Interest rates, however, lower than 12 months ago, but some recent rises we saw at the end of last year.
Yeah, so in terms of those stats, basically market's going sideways at the moment, Sam. We've got lower interest rates, which is good, but quite a bit of stock on market, which is taking that pressure off prices. And our sort of short-term view is that prices will basically just go sideways for the next sort of months. With that said, potential wildcard is we have seen a bit of movement in interest rates. Yeah, so that's just something to watch and might impact what's happening in the market in the short term. With that said, we move into our sales snapshot for the week. So this week we're looking at some sales around the median house price, which is like the midpoint in the market. Last month that was 787,000 for New Zealand and just over 1 mil for Auckland. So Sam, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, so I'm in Marlborough at 6 New Renwick Road in Redwoodtown. Downsizing or upsizing, lock up and leave, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms on 600 squares. Low maintenance brick and tile home, open plan layout with pergola covered patio. This one was marketed by Jackie Hurt and Kat Marsh from Bayleys Marlborough and sold for 780,000.
Yeah, cool. So that was the midpoint for New Zealand. In terms of midpoint for Auckland, so we've got 20 Kiwa Crescent in Gulf Harbour. So style, single level and great location, 3 beds, 2 baths and 440 square metres. Single level home just minutes from the marina and the ferry. This was marketed by Richard Haddon from Bayleys Silverdale. Sold for flat 1 mil, which was the midpoint for the Auckland market. Next up, we've got our deep dive for the month. So the question that's been posed to us a little bit at the start of this year is what the election might mean for the housing market. So shout out to EOS from our team for doing some of the maths on this. Now, I'll overlay a graph. Basically, this is market volumes comparing election years with non-election years. E's are the quarter with an election occurring, E-1 is the quarter before the election. Now, we'll have a report out soon that sort of talks about this a bit more, but basically if you look at those stats, 2023 election, there was no impact on the market. 2020, the market was actually stronger during the election, but we had the COVID like emergency interest rates happening at the same time, so the market was like kind of skyrocketing, so hard to pick. 2017, there was lower sales, but we'd also seen like generally a mini downturn in the market. And to be fair, property was in the crosshairs in that election with things like foreign buyer ban and discussions around bright line tests. So pretty mixed evidence. Our view on this is basically it depends on if the election is really actively targeting the property sector. If it's not, then there's probably no impact. If it is, you might see the market a little bit slower. But the other thing to keep in mind is that while you might see maybe some buyers a little bit softer, you also see some vendors holding off, and that can basically just kind of net out what's going on. So overall view is I wouldn't let it hold you up if you're looking to make some plans around your housing. Well, that said, right, property of the week, Sam, we've got 2 beautiful homes for sale. Mate, what have you got for us?
I've got 24 Grace James Road in Pukekohe, Auckland. Prestige, presence and panoramic views. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms on 940 squares. Located in one of Pukekohe's most prestigious streets. Large home with beautiful, breathtaking rural vistas. So if you're interested in this property, you can get in touch with Mike Murphy or Patrick Murphy from Bayleys Pukekohe.
Yeah, cool. And then for me, I'm down in Canterbury. I've got a $13 place in Prebbleton. So a masterclass in modern living and design, 4 beds, 2 baths on 700 square metres. This is a 2019 built home on a north-facing section. It's got lots of natural light, multiple living areas. So if you want to learn more about this one, contact Melanie Webb from Bayleys Rolleston. With that said, we'll wrap this video up here. So thanks very much for watching. Cheers, Sam.
Thanks, Chris.
Sweet, and we'll see you guys next week. Yeah.